Watu ambao tunaita viongozi Kenya hawana haya. Wanaiba, hawana haya. Wakati ni sasa.
Yes guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Guys, usijaribu kuswipe hii video. P.Ruto Lumumba is coming telling us something ambayo pia kama wa Kenya tunafaa tusikize vizuri tena zaidi na tuweke kwa akili zetu. First of all, P.Ruto Lumumba is telling us that starting from William Samoei Arap Ruto, Raila Amolo Odinga, Eugene Wamalwa, Kalonzo Musyoka, Rigathi Gachagua, Fred Matiangi, hizi sura zote hakuna mtu anafaa kuelektiwa hapo in 2027. Nuno watu wangu, mambo yamechemka. And kando na kwamba P.Ruto Lumumba is attacking William Ruto and Raila Amolo Odinga, kumbuka pia anatuambia kwamba hawa viongozi ambao wamesimama saizi wanasema kwamba they want to vie presidential seats in 2027. Hakuna mtu anafaa kuelektiwa pale. And he is telling us that Wakenya wanafaa kuamka na wanafaa kuelect a young leader from Gen Z. No, why? I want to listen to himself. Anajaribu kutuambia. Don't try to swipe up this video. Mambo yamechemka hapa nchini Kenya. And guys, in the same video, Morara Kebaso kumbuka ameatakiwa na Wakenya. And Morara Kebaso pia amejam. Nao ndio tunaona kwa mitandao pale utakuja kuona kwamba Morara Kebaso amepitana na Wakenya. Wakenya wamekuwa kimsponsor. And nao Wakenya wamegeuka, they are saying that Morara Kebaso amebenefit zaidi. Ameingiza mabilioni ya pesa, then ameanza kudharau wa Kenya. So hawana haja na Morara Kebaso. But Morara Kebaso is telling us that ameanza kuexpose sasa. Ameanza kuexpose Uhuru Kenyatta, exposing Kalonzo Musyoka kwamba ako ndani ya serikali kisiri. Kuna milioni mbili kila weekend Kalonzo Musyoka anapokea kutoka kwa William Ruto. And that's why mchana anapiga William Ruto, usiku wako pamoja. Na ndio maana unaona William Ruto hajawahi fuatilia huyu Kalonzo Musyoka. So mambo yamechemka. We don't know kama ni ukweli, but I want you to pay attention yourself listening to these people. But guys, kabla tuendelee, ensure tu umelike video. Ensure umelike video kama kawaida, na nilikuambia hii channel ina supportiwa na wewe always. Without your support, hii channel itakuwa inazima completely. Kwa hivyo guys, nasema thanks so extensive. I want you to pay attention first of all to P.Ruto Lumumba, kisha tusikize Morara Kebaso jinsi ambavyo wamejaribu kuchemsha mambo hapa nchini Kenya. Sikiza.
We must interrogate this thing we call democracy. In Kenya, the people you call leaders, don't listen to them when they are in podiums in Nairobi. No. Listen to them when they are speaking in their mother tongue at funerals. When they are their true selves. They are Bukusus or Maragoli speaking Mulembe Nation, or they are Kambas, or they are Kikuyus, or they are Luos. Their political parties don't matter. That is why there is not a single presidential candidate that has contested an election after 5 years in the same political party. As I said before, the forests change, but the monkeys remain the same, with the same habits. And let me tell you, if you continue doing the same thing in the same way, thinking that will change, nothing will change. I now see individuals across the country congregating, and you call them opposition. These were individuals who were in the Moi government. They were in the Kibaki government. They were in the Uhuru government. What is new about them? Nothing except their insatiable greed for power and the privileges that power offers. So we are assembled here to ask critical and serious questions. I've been around. I was here in 1980s. I was here in 1990s when the entire movement of change the Constitution was alive and well. I was in the Council of the Law Society. I've been here and I've seen Kenyans repeatedly electing individuals in the name of democracy who in other parts of the world would be completely unelectable. We elect comedians. And as one wise man, is it Albert Einstein, who said, when you elect a comedian to take him or her to the palace becomes a circus. And that is why we have what we have today. What is the value of knowing that which is right without doing that which is right? I keep on hearing Kenyans saying, we have a beautiful constitution. What is the beauty of a constitution which you honor and breach? What is it? You know, in 1967, the late Tanzanian President Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere was asked, what is the secret of development? And he said in Kiswahili, siri ya maendeleo ni watu, ardhi na siasa safi. And he added, siri ya maendeleo ni vijana wenye malezi bora, siha njema na bongo kali. And then he said, ukimwona mtu anakimbia sana kwenda Ikulu, mkwepe kama ukoma. Kwani kuna biashara gani Ikulu? He posed rhetorically. Ikulu ni mahali patakatifu. Musilibadilishe kuwa pango la walanguzi. We Kenyans hold meeting after meeting in boardroom after boardroom, in workshop after workshop. But we are unmoved and untouched. The question is, when will we have our journey to Damascus? Like Saul of Tarsus, that we may change. Are we ready for the change? Are we prepared to do that which is right and good because it is right and good? I was involved in the process of making the Constitution jointly with others for 5 years. We produced the Boma's draft. We made many recommendations, some of which were retained in the current Constitution. We said Nairobi should not be a county. You made it into a county. We said we should have no more than 18 counties. Between 14 and 18, you created 47 of devolved units, each of which a governor thinks he or she is running a country. The United States of America has only 50 states with a GDP of 23 trillion United States dollars. Nigeria has only 37 states. India 37. China 30 provinces. South Africa 9 provinces. We have 47 counties with 47 governors, 47 deputy governors, 47 speakers, 47 deputy speakers. And you tell me that we are going to grow? When a county raises 400 million in a year and consumes 2 billion in a year, we can't grow. Even if there is divine intervention, we can pray and fast all we want, but nothing is going to change until we change. We have individuals in positions of leadership who do not care. They are unmoved and untouched. You accuse an individual of engaging in corruption. He has a mob around him, escorting him to the offices of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. And he comes out and gives a press conference. Corruption is the most profitable business in Kenya today. You have individuals whose salaries, even if they lived for 1,000 years and worked for 1,000 years, would not buy them half an acre of land. And they are multi-billionaires. They have never won any lottery, never made any discovery. And we celebrate them as successful men and women. And we elect them to boot. As Dr. Waindi said, I grew up partly in Maringo, partly in Jericho, partly in Eastleigh, partly in my rural home in Usenge, in Imbo, in Siaya County. When I was sick, you would go to the dispensary and you would find medication. Today, unless you are suicidal, you don't visit any of those outfits. When our leaders are delivering children, they go to the United States of America. And we are not angry. We are told that our police officers, and is in the public domain, collect 13.3 billion in bribes in a month, and we are not angry. Young Kenyans, the task is yours. Choose you now. Whether you want to be Kambas and Luos and Luhias and Kikuyus, or you want to be Kenyans, with the tribe only being for cultural reasons. Samora Moises Machel said, if the new African nation is to thrive, the tribe must die. Not that you cease to identify yourself as such, but it cannot be the basis for decision making. That I'm voting for an individual because he's from my ethnic group, that is the only qualification. That they gave me 200 shillings, that is the justification. We must rethink governance. Today, we have a parliament whose only claim to fame is that they have insatiable appetite for our taxes. Our parliamentarians relative to our GDP are the best paid in the world. In the world. They want CDF, not because they want to serve us. Ask each one of them how many companies they have formed, where their drivers and brothers and sisters and house helps are the directors. Ask them. Ask them whether they do not trade with the counties and with the constituencies that they run. Ask the MCA whether that is not true. Ask them how they become multi-millionaires within 2 years of joining public office. Ask them. Ask them why, when the courts have declared CDF to be unconstitutional, why they want to constitutionalize it, whether we like it or not. It is a slush fund. And you know, your typical Kenyan politician thinks that we have the memory of a mosquito and a warthog combined. That is why they don't care about us. The time is now that we must demonstrate that our civic duty not only demands but requires that we make demands of them. This is not the time for cowards who die times without number. Because if you are a coward today, your children and children's children will pay the price of our cowardice. We must speak out and bear the consequences. Yesterday, the 29th day of the month of April in the year 2025, you saw how 6 individuals were killed in cold blood. And nothing will happen to them. That is the tragedy. A culture of lawlessness and impunity has taken root in our country. So when you talk about democracy, what is it? It is not true that we did not know democracy, no. It is not true that democracy came from Greece. That was the Greek definition of democracy. When it came to the United States of America, Abraham Lincoln said of it that it was a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. That was their definition of it. In the year 1235, in amongst the Mande people, they were already having a Mandean charter. At that time, we did not have the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. There were orderly kingdoms in Africa. But the democracy that we are trying to practice is the neo-colonial version that was bequeathed to us by the colonizers. You come to Kenya, we still try to mimic the British. You go to former French colonies, they are trying to mimic the French. You go to former Portuguese colonies, they are trying to mimic the Portuguese. Until the day that we exercise the ghost of mimicry, we are going nowhere. That is why when you go to our parliament, a member of parliament cannot pronounce a word without saying, Mr. Speaker, sir, make your point. Mr. Speaker, sir, cannot be form and part of a speech. And you look at your speaker, he is dressed in wool that was used in medieval Europe, and you think that that is a badge of honor. You go to our courts, you find our judges are equally dressed in things that ought to belong to the Museum of History alongside the spelling wheel. And we think it is a badge of honor. You come to our leaders, they still want to be addressed as His Excellency or the Right Honorable something. Titles that were used in medieval Europe. We must change. And we are only going to change when you, the young generation, my friend Habib, in Kariobangi, and I know that area well. We work there even as I speak. Go out there and speak a different language. When we were growing up in Jericho, it did not matter whether one was Kikuyu. We didn't even know. It's only later that we knew that Kariuki was a Kikuyu name. And Wafula was a Luhya name. Today, you see the government advertising a post and they put there, John Lukoe, Luhya. John Joroge, Kikuyu. Go out there in Kariobangi and change minds. Those of you who are from Kibera and Katwekera, go out there and change minds. If you are from Kaloleni, go out and change minds. And just don't be in Nairobi, go out there. In Kilifi, let ICJ not be a boardroom arrangement where we speak to ourselves in English. Nendeni mkazungumza na watu kwa Kiswahili na lugha zao za mama. Hilo ndilo jambo ambalo lazima tulitekeleze ikiwa tunataka kulibadilisha taifa hili. Kwa kuwa taifa imepigwa ngeta kwa lugha ya mtaa.
Mimi nimetoka kwa maji saa hii. Nimekuambia the crocodile is sick. Wewe unasema the crocodile is not sick. Nakwambia nimetoka kwa maji saa hii. The crocodile is sick. Wewe unasema the crocodile is not sick. You know, let me tell you. The opposition in Kenya is completely compromised. That is why nimekuwa nikiambia the Gen Zs and the young people of Kenya, you are the opposition. Take that role and play it. You are the opposition. Hii opposition yenye mnategemea hii hakuna kitu hapo. There is nothing. Stop putting your hopes where there is no hope. Let me remind you of a Bible verse inside the Bible. But on the third day, they came unto the tomb, bringing the spices which they had prepared. They entered in and found not the body of the Lord Jesus. And as they were afraid and bowed their faces unto the earth, two men stood by them in dazzling apparel. And they said unto them, Why seek ye the living amongst the dead? He is not here, he is risen. Did you not hear how he spoke unto you when he was yet in Galilee, that the Son of Man must die and on the third day rise again? And they remembered these words. Now there's something I want you to take away from that verse. Why seek ye the living amongst the dead? So I'm asking you, Kenyans, why are you seeking for leadership where it's not? Why are you looking for change where there is no change? There is nothing that is in the opposition that can represent the future we want or the change that we want as young people. Let me tell you this. Did you know that there is one opposition leader who receives 2 million shillings weekly? Money from the consolidated fund. Forget Raila, huyu alishaingia kwa serikali. Hawa wenye wanasema wako kwa opposition. There is a guy there that receives besha shigana 2 million every week. And just the other day, he met with William Ruto. You see, I know things. Vile mnaniona hivi, it's not everything that you think I don't know that I don't know. I know more than you think I know. The other day, he met with William Ruto, and he was negotiating with William Ruto to be his running mate in 2027. Anataka kuwa running mate na ako opposition, anapinga Ruto, anasema extrajudicial killings, anasema this person has killed people through the police. Usiku wanapatana, anataka kuwa running mate ya Ruto in 2027, anaendelea kupokea pesa kutoka kwa consolidated fund, amepewa security ya serikali. Uhuru Kenyatta, the former president, aliiba pesa hii Kenya more than 6 trillion shillings wakiwa na Ruto. That same Uhuru Kenyatta akona 4 cabinet ministers ndani ya cabinet. That same Uhuru Kenyatta has a bank called NCBA whose biggest client is government, and it registered the highest profit the last financial year. Akona waziri wanne ndani ya serikali, na bado ndani ya upinzani akona watu wawili, Eugene Wamalwa na Fred Matiangi. And you want to change this country, yet the source of the problem wants to be solution to the problem. How can Uhuru change Kenya? He cannot. He has benefited from this Kenya the way it is. Why would he want to change it? Why would he want it? It will threaten his business interests and that of his family. He cannot want Kenya to change. But nyinyi mnasema Uhuru atatupea pesa, atatusupport, pesa yake ndio tutatumia kufanya campaign tubadilishe Kenya. Mubadilishe Kenya gani? Which country? Yet the Uhuru you are talking about is doing business with Ruto. The Uhuru you are talking about is relying on Ruto to make sure that kesi ya ICC isirudi. Usiku wanafanya siasa na Ruto, mchana akiingia kanisani mnapiga makofi, mnasema unye ongea, then he speaks against Ruto, alafu mnabebwa ujinga. Fellow Kenyans, musipochanuka mutachanuliwa. Na msipojipanga mutapangwa. I'm telling all the young people in Kenya, kawe ni myang, my friend, it's not enough to be a voter. Simama ukue mbunge, simama mkue senator, simama mkue governors, simama mkue president. You are the ones who will change this country. Don't be sold the language of limitation by the devil. The devil will always sell you the language of limitation. He'll always tell you, tangulini a young person akakuwa president. Wacheni kujaribu kitu yenye haiwezekani. Hiyo kitu haiwezekani. Who told you that if it has never been done, it cannot be done? Who told you that if it has never been done, it cannot be done? It can be done and it will be done. Muko na 15 million votes na bado mnajilimit. You still want to sing to the same old people. Wenye wameshinda akiba, mtu amekuwa mbunge 20 years, amekuwa waziri 20 years, they've never changed anything. Na wewe kama kakijana, uko 23 years, uko 24 years, uko 27 years, huna kazi. Bedsitter yako hata token huna. Sapa huku kula. Mia ulikuwa nayo ya mwisho umebet sport pesa. Na unaimba mzee mwenye ako 60. Unatusi kijana mwenzako. Kutetea mzee mwenye ako 60 mwenye amekuwa serikali miaka 40 na hajaibadilisha maisha yako. My friends, can you wake up? Hebu amkeni kutoka kwa usingizi. Toka kwa usingizi. Hii ni siasa. There's no joke here. Na msifikirie, unajua hatuna pesa ya campaign, sasa tutafanya nini? My friend, if money was everything, Jim Nambaru would be the governor Nairobi. Yeah? If money was everything, Ngatia, who was the chairman of the Chamber of Commerce, would be the governor of Nairobi if money was everything. Because those people had money in billions, not in millions. But is money everything? It's not. Money is something, but it's not everything. It is something you need to facilitate the change you need. Na hiyo pesa tunaweza changa. 15 million young people, tukitoa mia. Do you know how much money that is? That's almost, I think, 1.5 billion? 15 million young people who are voters. Tukitoa mia ni pesa ngapi? Ongeza 0.1 na kuwa 150 million. Ongeza 0 ingine na kuwa 1.5 billion. It's 1.5 billion. Na tutosha kufanya campaign. Na tushinde urais. Just 100 bob. Na tunashinda. Let us believe in ourselves. Tuache kujieka chini. Tuache kutegemea. Tutegemewe. It is time for us to save our parents from this joke. This is a joke that our parents wamezoea since independence. Wamekuwa kizungushwa tu hivi. Na nimewakataza mambo ya ukabila. Na hiyo ukabila si mimi nilikama up nayo. Ni nyinyi mlinifunza. Alafu siku hizi mnaniruka. Mnakaa ni kama sio nyinyi mlinifunza. Na nyinyi ndio mlinifunza hiyo mambo ya kukataa ukabila. Mnaniruka saa hii na nyinyi, you are the ones who taught me that thing. Mliniambia hii ukabila hii imeharibu Kenya. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu mtu anapigia mtu wa kabila yake bila kuangalia maadili mema, kama kuna mtazamo mpya wa kubadilisha nchi, na kama ana historia nzuri ya uongozi ambayo hai-involve wizi na corruption. You told me that. Hii Kenya tutabadilisha. Mimi najipiga moyo konde. Haters wakue, wasikue. Haters wa leo ndio fans wa kesho. Mbele bila kusimama. Gear number 6, twende mbele.